back I got my shit won, I straight up face palmed myself. Post by, Tabanoid. At Buster I seem to be hitting these vendors as they begin to get backed up too. My timing has never been good, I'll try this patience thing out I guess. Post by, DK Monk. Vroom will come through for sure. I had a gram that was not sent a while ago when he hit his first real big bump and was absent for a few weeks, and he refunded my BTCs promptly when he returned. I'm sure Dub will be back soon, and he is a fast shipper, excellent product, and great packaging. Professor T, I am not sure if he is flooded or not right now, but you can't beat his price, especially for quality that competes and sometimes is better than Dub's or Heisenberg's. He had a little derailment and I was stuck with a bunch of money out of escrow with him, and he came through with flying colors on my refund plus a little extra for my troubles. Great person. Post by, Flean1. I would just like to say, because I feel bad about the couple of you waiting for an order. I in no way asked or even implied to Vroom that he should fund me 2G. I just asked how much. Logged back on 14 hours later and there was the tracking number, and at 10 a.m. yesterday morning the 2G. It was one message from me in the morning and one message back from him that night. Just unreal. People just don't do that out of the kindness of their hearts, especially on SR, where you don't even know the person. Sorry to anyone waiting. Oh, and yes, I forgot the password I made last night, wrote this one down. Post by, Optical Infinity. I think I might do a half G from Vroom Vroom if Dub G doesn't get listings today. I sent VV a message, asking about overnight FedEx, and what it costs, but I haven't heard back, and it's been a couple days. To know what's up with that. Dub G got back to me on Tor chat in hours when I asked about his stock. Post by, Tarax92. Just got my second order from Professor Twack. The man continues to impress. I even got a chuckle out of the shipping materials. Out of the 3 vendors I've tried, he's the only one that's come through so far. He's earned himself a regular. Post by, Risky 2. With VMM and Berg down, hope those guys come back someday. I'm trying an order with Vroom for the 420 sale. Got my fingers crossed. Post by, Buster39. Has anyone got some info about the professor? How is his stuff? Post by, Toajama. From 12 listing to 22 today. Things are looking up. I already miss Heisenberg. Vroom it is. GOT caught in the medical issues last time, now the 420 mess. Post by, Kingpin Isle. I've been waiting on a Q-gram for over a month from Vroom. If he send me a QP, I still wouldn't order from him again, so he may as well keep his shit, and I've told him as much. Seriously, we need a good glass vendor on here. Someone that isn't a user, someone that sends like Min sends blow hell. Even with Goa's coke being shit lately, he at least sends on time. Any crystal dealers out there ship same day, that are good. I live in the woods in a hot meth area, so my local shit is fire. Do I need to start listing product? What the fuck? If he would have shipped when he said he was, I would have probably ordered an ounce by now, if he can top my local product. I really just wanna see what the best is on ESA to see if I can beat it. Post by, DK Monk. Just keep messaging Vroom in a polite manner, he will respond and make it right. He gets a lot of messages and deletes some without responding on accident, I think. I've had to send multiple messages. If you see yours has been read and he hasn't answered within 24 to 48 hours, send another, but always be cordial. He is a really great guy and cares a lot about his customers. Dub G was very prompt at delivering and communication. Professor T hit a patch, but has made up for it and is very good at communicating and getting your package to you. He just had that mess when he first started, but lined things out. Post by, BP. I've had to give up on Vroom twice now. He finally returned my message, after order was in for days with no action and PM unread. And offered FedEx. I'm a fair guy. All I want is his normal but reasonably prompt shipping. I don't want to cost him money, so my order sits again for 2 days and messages about ETA goes unread. Not just unanswered. Unread again. Post by, Optical Infinity. You guys are scaring me. I have an order pending from Vroom Vroom. He says in his seller profile that he wants all the messages encoded with PGP, so maybe he ignores ones that aren't encoded. I don't expect anything substantial until Monday, being that it's the weekend, but yeah, a little worried now. Post by Tweedledum. What a shitty time to be broke. There are some very good prices from VV and WG, but Professor Twack's prices are insane. PT is also offering smaller sized items, making it accessible to all sorts of ESA folk. Now, here's the thing, PT is going to get swamped, over his head deep. Can't be avoided. This means that delivery times may suck, and there will be more than average number of fuck-ups on his end. Please be aware of the situation. Work with him and everyone will get their shit. Wish I had the Bitcoin for WG's 3G. Ah well, if wishes were horses. Post by Costello 143. I got the sample of Crystal White's product is pretty good to smoke on pipe, perfect quality, good to have it in Europe. Thanks CW, you have new customers? Post by Leo the Lion. Hi baby, hang in there Jen and Rita Luvsia Kiddo. We just now saw this post. We hope it means good and get ready for a happy day at the mailbox, but baby take care of yourself. We think you meant good by get ready, not get ready to get our asses kicked. Lol. Nighty night wherever you are, Jen and Rita, LTL. Post by Work for it 69. First off, I have had a few perfectly flawless transactions with H in escrow before this happened, so I thought to save him some money on commissions I would go out of escrow like he was asking me to do. After a week or so I found out he was fucking broke and took my money to pay back other customers. This in itself is inexcusable. I was pissed, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt and told him he could pay me back in a few weeks. He agreed. Told me he had turned a new leaf and would never lie to me again, and that I would get my shipment in the agreed time. Lo and behold, the lies were back in a matter of days and he missed our date. Also, I might add, I gave him more time than he asked because I wanted to help him out. Second of all, I've probably been doing drugs before you were born because only idiot buy drugs on the streets. Noob. I buy pure grams of coke straight from the Dominicans for $25 a gram and cuts still because I've been around so long. I get weed and almost any other drug you can think of delivered to my door in an hour or less because I know people. Unfortunately, nobody sells meth in the city I live in. Also, I'm not a fucking punk like you. Unlike fucking losers, I don't let people take advantage of me, period. Fuck man, I got loads of fucking money, I could give two fucking shits about $500. Nobody gets over on me though. Where I grew up you were as good as fucking dead in the water if you did. I'm not gonna start now with some fucked up junkie tweaked out lying meth dealer. I also explained that I have not done drugs in over a month and would never resort to becoming a low-life fucking tweaker. The fact that I grew up poor and was able to retire at the age of 30 should clue you in on a little about me. Now to my main point, like I said in the Heisenberg thread, this was never about the money. It was to warn others that he was a liar and a thief, and secondly it was to get H's reputation ruined and run him out of business to make things even. Period. I got what I wanted because I will always be smarter than idiot like you. Funny thing is you still don't really quite get why I posted what I did and how I got exactly what the fuck I wanted because all other options were expired. Now I am bored with you idiots that are still defending him and saying I was in the wrong. Get a fucking clue. Post by BP. I get why you posted. I am an anarcho-capitalist. I don't know if you know what that is, much less all that it both implies and spells out clearly, but let me tell you. I don't believe in government or any super-empowered groups to beat down thieves and liars. The only legit means is word of mouth, or keyboard, reviews. So I very much get why you must bring the truth as you see it to the forum. I did the same right after he cancelled my order. I had a direct transfer go bye-bye, me requesting an add OON to my order, but I also had a regular order cancelled. That means I am still being prodded for feedback every time I access my account. Every time I was told it was going out, after being told that already many times before, I was tempted to go ape shit. Just like you were doing. My gut said to give him a chance. That tracking number he gave me, the one that said nothing but to expect a package for processing, was just marked out for delivery, in my town even. So. I know you're pissed. H knows you're pissed. Everyone here knows you're pissed. I doubt anyone disbelieves your story. I believe it. Did you keep the tracking number? What does it say now? The forum is essential to anyone wanting to get past the possible fake numbers on the site feedback. These reviews serve a critical purpose. Acting like a child, however, does not. Yours is one of the most immature rants I have seen here, and that says a lot because this place is full of teenagers. When you sink to the level of schoolyard fighting, you take away from the respect this feedback process should hold in the eyes of the roader smart enough not to just trust the main site stats in the first place. You, ironically, undermine your own point. Hey! Who gave me a negative? I'll kill you. Post by, Party Tonight. I've received from VMM 3 times now in a timely fashion. Was a little worried when I went out of town for the weekend and FE before I left, then came back to see his account was suspended, but he came through. Nice guy and has never asked me to FE, and it's good shit for a great price. His and Vrooms are the only ones I've tried since the batch WG sent got thrown out, waiting on the other order I placed with him and with H. So far VMM is the only one who has saved my butt from being out, and when I did biz with Vroom he was super cool. Hate has having medical issues and hope that gets resolved for him. Thanks VMM. Happy 4/20 guys. Oh wait, that was yesterday. I am on tweaker time, always. Post by, work for at 69. Interesting, now I not only know what an anarcho-capitalist is, but I also can now call myself one now that I know what it means. I get that I went overboard, but to be honest, part of my plan was to do just that, even though I knew I would probably piss a few people off. I mostly kept to the facts but could not help but threw some undercut insults in there to get under Heisenberg's skin for getting me involved in this mess, and also to get him to reply publicly to my accusations. Unfortunately he did not fall for that part of my trap, because everything I posted and said I can fully back up with PMs, transaction IDs, etc., and he knows that. I believe if I just posted one quick post about what had happened, he would have hoped for it to slip under the radar and his reputation would remain intact. To be safe, I had to make sure everyone was taking about what had happened, because that's one of the only things of his I could go after. If you look back at his thread or others, I have gone after some users for not going through the right channels before using the forums to rant and rave about a dealer, but that's not the case for my recent postings. After getting to know H these past couple of months, I knew it was only a matter of time before he cracked and quit, so I thought it would be good for everyone that I did everything in my power to shame him so that he would leave before he got more victims. Thanks BP for being one of the few that backed me in this. I'm still surprised at how many people think what he did is justified. I believe this slight inconvenience to those of you that were annoyed with my postings will come around and realize that it was for the best for the SR community. If you can't forgive me, I ask that you just go back a few pages in this thread to see some of the stuff posted by others that have absolutely no reason being here or could be found out with a simple search of the board. Edit: I forgot to answer one of your questions. Yes, the tracking number he gave me is updated with info now. I don't need to remind you that he still owes me 0.7 grams plus the extra he has been promising me for the past 2 months. Who would have thunk it that on the 11th or 12th promise that he was actually telling the truth? I am putting this to rest, but if for some reason H does pop back up, he is still a liar and a thief, because I never did get what was owed me. More importantly, and the thing people should remember, is that he took money from me knowing full well he wasn't planning on sending me a thing and instead was planning on using it to pay back other people. Okay, enough of this shite, I am off to get high, motherfuckers. See you in a few days. Post by, BP. I think you haven't yet scratched the surface of anarcho-capitalist. I hope you do. I only supported your right, or rather your responsibility, to let truth be known that needs to be known for people to make the best possible gamble they can when they hit the road. People who would be okay with a few people being outright burned by someone as long as that same person hasn't burn them yet have no business telling you to shut up and are being exactly what I was accused of for standing behind them a while back. Ball suckers who stoop for their fix. That is if they believe you and don't care. If they think you're full of shit, then that's different. But they should hear you out. And did. The first, second, third, I don't know how many times and how many threads. A few very civilly said we get it already. It's so ironic that I find myself in the position of having to defend your rights and responsibilities when I think you're being a childish douche in your approach. Equally ironic that I am being accused of sucking VMM's balls who people believe is a selective scammer when I am forced to point out that the people telling you to shut the fuck up are being the same for Heisenberg. Truth is stranger than fiction. You can't write this shit. Now I have already asked if you have been checking that tracking number. Have you? Mine showed nothing but a notice to expect delivery for 2 days. I had my outstanding balance with Heisenberg cleared, with extra for interest I'm assuming. 2 days later. That would be today. Let me reiterate that in a ball-sucking fashion. Heisenberg said he shipped it, gave me a number and it came. It's more than he owed me and it kicks ass. I said before that I was civil with him. I know shit happens and I know good people find themselves making bad choices, sometimes the only choices they believe they have open to them. This could explain your malicious behavior too, your admitted will to see a person destroyed rather than healed. I also said that I didn't kiss ass. I was civil most of the time and pissed other times, but I treated him as human, worthy of dignity at all times. Maybe that moved me ahead on his list of people to pay back. And maybe your deliberate malice moved you back. I don't know. You haven't told us what the number is saying yet. What does it say? What I did was address a situation I would rather have not been in, but one I elected to get into myself by going around escrow, in as socially responsible a manner as I could discipline myself into maintaining. That is the essence of anarcho-capitalism. Acting as a society, acting socially, without a bunch of tax-stealing weapon wielders threatening you with prison or death so as to have you fake that behavior when anyone is watching with a badge, gun or camera. And then behave otherwise when no one is watching. To recognize that the fruits of working together far outweigh the benefits of destroying people. And to see that while you do have a responsibility to share your experience with snake oil salesmen, you don't have to hate them or destroy them. And of course, most important, to consider your judgment might be wrong, or missing enough of the facts to render it premature. These forums are so important to a place where the hard facts about a person are kept as secret as possible and the only other means of evaluation is easily manipulated. But these forums are also subject to manipulation, as we have seen. Selective scammers can gain the support of those they choose not to scam and cause their rep here to be as suspect as their rep on the main site. Especially if people, no matter how much it pisses them off to see someone they are in favor with, do not support a person. Right responsibility to tell the truth here. Those with bad experiences need to present them civilly. Those with the opposite experiences need to do the same. In the end, more people will believe those who come with the coolest heads than those that throw tantrums. However, if a vendor is really run off by one or two crybabies, legit complaints or not, what does that say for the vendor's dedication to this site and all of us on it? I'll bet you got your shit, and if so you need to come here and say so. And I doubt H is going to run off, any more than I think VMM is. They both have too much pride, it seems to me. That's why they react when attacked. Only a milquetoast fuck doesn't get his cackles raised when flamed by some 7th grader. And really, who the fuck dissed my karma? Post by Kundalini 95. I also had my sample from Crystal Wife this weekend, but I wasn't too impressed euphoria-wise. I consumed the 180 milligrams in 4 hours, snorted about 70, plugged 50 and smoked the rest. 50 milligrams plugged provided a nice high, but it felt a little on the light side. That was the first time I tried meth, but I had tons of mephedrone before and I think there may be a cross-tolerance. Have you had any meth from an American vendors before Costello to compare to? Post by Ketoljigdaxivin. Lol ABC, I've been up since Thursday morning, with heavier use on the worthy of course, all G stuff which I can't recommend highly enough. Funnily enough, even though this stuff gives me euphoria and the energy, especially at the start of the binge, after day 2 I can fall asleep and have a deep REM sleep for 2 to 3 hours, even an hour after smoking 30-40 mgs, wake up after this power nap and feel like I've had 12 hours sleep, love it. I'm curious how you rate it against the other guy's product once you get Gs. I've only had VMM stuff once a couple of months ago and seemed about on par or slightly below Dubs, but the communications, service and the awesome stealth shipping has swayed me to keep coming back to G for my meth needs. Post by Optical Infinity. Is it just me, or is Vroom Vroom plagued with personal problems? I'm getting worried. Post by Ecopactum. I had an order come from Vroom last week, and it was awesome. However, 4 days ago I messaged him about a new order, and I haven't heard back from him and he hasn't read it. This is unlike him, usually he responds to my PMs. Has anyone else not been able to get a hold of him? I am worried I did something wrong. It sucks. I had one little taste of crystal on here and poof. Gone it seems. Hopefully he's just too busy or something. Post by Toajama. Yup, I have 2 orders in with him and has yet to read my 1 PM I sent him. Post by Digital Dong. I don't know why everyone sings G praises on quality. I admit has a good salesman, good packaging. But that's it, quality is shit, can be 50% or better. OFC, this is all hypothetical, but when I cooked that shit in pipe it took so long to rextal into solid. I was so disappointed. After all the great reviews here makes me wonder if Doucher bags are renting for the take on it. Just keeping shit real. If you got a problem with it, go fuck yourself and smoke my pole. If you can find me a legit good source of methane, then awesome. By the way, tolerance isn't an issue, I just know good meth when I do it. And if Part 016. Post by DK Monk. Beginning of Part 017. Post by Torn. Assuming my order is ever processed, I'll gladly chime in with G experience in comparison to other current offerings. Unfortunately, I'm experiencing yet another meth drought of epic proportion. I have more status in processing than Homer Simpson can count on one hand. Post by Work for It 69. I edited my post above as soon to answer your question right after I posted it. I would never knowingly withhold information to further my cause. Everything I have ever said about H I know to be true, even the bit about him being a liar and a thief. I don't know, maybe I come from a different place than most of you, but running a Ponzi is heavily frowned upon in America business because we all know how it ends. I believe those actions alone are justification enough to put him out of business and for him to hang his so-called pride at the door and realize that he is not cut out for this line of work. A true gentleman with good intentions would have done this and not continue to dig himself into a deeper hole. I agree with you 100% about being civil about a dispute, and like I've said many times before, I was very, very civil with him. As I said, even after he admitted to tricking me out of my money to get his business back up running, I was compassionate with him and agreed to work with him on repaying me, on one condition, that he tell me the truth even if it's bad. So the first few days went well. He told me a lot of personal info and the story around why he needed my money. Unfortunately, his new much more likable persona disappeared and it was back to let me tell him it's gone out so I can buy a few more days. There's only so many lies a person can take before coming to the conclusion that this person has no intention of being civil with me even after everything I already had done for him. Did I go overboard? Probably, but my actions pale in comparison to his. I honestly believe that H is not a good businessman and should be put out of business before others get taken advantage of. He can have all the good intentions in the world, but that doesn't really change his destiny. Sure, I was seeing red the last few days and said I wanted to destroy him, but my only intentions were to inform other people about the type of person he is and also to penalize his business because he wasn't running it right. So yeah, I was embellishing a bit in the forums on that point, but my PMs to him on that day were only about getting him suspended. At that point I would have stopped bothering him, and I sincerely hoped that his suspension would bring him back to his original self that everyone really liked and trusted. Edit: just as I thought, good old H came through with a real tracking number, and it even says my package arrived. Unfortunately they think I go by a different name and live halfway across the country. Great work, H. Now everyone can see how you lied about sending me my package. Post by Cacaoeths. I would like to make a public apology to Heisenberg for ever expressing doubt. His package arrived today, and it was as solid, secure, and amazing as any I've ever ordered from him in the past. It also appears that he doubled up on the quantity I ordered. Quality of the crystal is as good as any I've ever done, and is what I've come to expect from Heisenberg. Can't stand to snort or smoke, so I always IV, and the results are always immediately evident. Wobbly eyes, ringing ears, ever so slight solvent flash, and then zoom euphoria. I'd also like to add that I finalized early before Heisenberg requested it on his vendors page. I did it because I've had nothing but stellar experiences with him. Except for a light delay, which he was upfront about from the beginning, this experience has been no different. Furthermore, he never failed to respond to my questions, and voluntarily provided a DCN number, which I never check, but is still nice to have. I hope you accept my apology for doubting you, Heisenberg. I've recently had another solid vendor implode after I finalized early, and I'm sure the experience bled over, causing me to doubt you too, without cause. Post by Hung Long. I have a large order which has been outstanding for over a month now. I was promised at least half of the order would be sent end of last week and still waiting, lol. I try refrain from inboxing him cause I don't want to add to the backlog, but this is about the third time over a month I've been promised shipment and still no word. I was hoping to receive some of this new pink batch he had once he returned, but unfortunately my order still hasn't been sent, so I guess that it batch has gone to all the new orders, and once again my order is still not sent yet. Post by Priscilla Marie 90. My local dealer is apparently gone for good. If Silk Road can't provide me with even a semi-stable supply, I don't know what I'll do. I definitely won't be around for a while, I can tell you that much. Inhaling the remains of my stash as I type this, my fingers are crossed. I hope somebody comes through soon. Post by Ecopactum. I hope Vroom figures his shit out soon, just like Priscilla. I too, unfortunately, won't be around much longer, and he already has some of the money for the order I want to put in. I think I am going away before the week is over, and I will probably be in work release for a year. I was really hoping to get a nice buzz going before it happened. I hope to God they don't file a warrant and just give me a court date so I can buy some more time for Vroom to get me some shit. Post by Toajama. Sleep and eat maybe? Lol, so true. Post by Optical Infinity. I sent Vroom a message after I placed my order, but he's yet to read it. Send us a message after you order, we're not a vending machine. At least the Cokes machine says thank you when I press vend. Worried. Post by Professor Twack. Just wanted to pop in and say that I have placed all 420 orders in transit. However, it is possible your order may not hit the system until the morning. I will provide everyone with a DCN, but be patient. That is another 40 emails to send. Getting in the mail is the #1 priority. I have checks in place to easily look up your orders, but give me a minute please. I never ask for fees for domestic shipments because I truly believe escrow is very important when doing business on the road. Having said that, if you are comfortable enough with me to finalize after verifying shipment, I will never argue. I would like to be up and running again ASAP, and your payment helps that happen sooner. If not, that's cool too. Just try and please remember to finalize after receiving. I have a grand or so out there that has been delivered and no response from the buyers since. Plus it freaks me out when I don't see a delivered package finalized with no communication. Prof T. P.S. The best place for updates is my page, but will return PMs as time permits. Post by